Welcome back, ladies and gents, and a warm hello and welcome to all of our fresh faces. And yes, that big red hunk of steel behind me is exactly what you all think it is. For those of you that have seen my previous videos, it's no surprise that if Bethesda throw Nuka lore into their game, I will sniff it out. As for those that haven't, I pretty much cut my YouTuber teeth on the Nuka World DLC and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, of course, for what everybody's here for, the Nuka Cola T51 Armor. I would, however, like to put a disclaimer here and warn you that this is just a paint job. You will need to collect the parts yourself, which you can then paint up in the Nuka colours. That disclaimer aside, let's get this show on the road. The start of our Nuka Fueled adventure begins a stone's throw away from Vault 76 at the Black Mountain Ordnance Works, which is just north of Point Pleasant, which just so happens to house the Mothman Museum. For those of you that are interested in the Mothman lore, I will be doing a video on that one very soon. Now, with all secure facilities, there's plenty of warnings about trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted, blah 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 blah. That said, I didn't have any issues. Apparently there's no one left to arrest me. Who knew? And no big scary sentry bot or assaultron jumped out to get me, so the signs don't seem to carry a lot of weight anymore. What can I say? Could have been interesting. Hidden away on this unassuming terminal that, for all intents and purposes, is in the absolute middle of nowhere, we found our first breadcrumb. And then, we'll call it quick hack later, lets us take a peek at the secrets locked away within. Because loot, okay? Come on, admit it, we've all been there. So, shiny moment aside, the Dome 3 entry reveals it is rented out to none other than our favourite soft drink company, Nuka Cola. Next up, Kanawa and the Nuka Cola plant, which happens to actually be the Nuka Cola testing facility. Now, ghouls aside, I cleared them previously just for smoothness of access. We head straight in, up the stairs to our left. In the first door we see, head along the little tool room here, and we find ourselves a nice little note, which reads, "To all full-time marketing team members from R. Marcus Taylor, re-vacation." This is a reminder that I will be on vacation with my family in Watoga for the next 2 weeks. For all marketing and research and development matters, please contact Pat Walker. Best, Marcus. Our next breadcrumb, of course, is a little bit trickier to find. If we had what would have been right when we first came up the stairs, head quickly through this little room here that's filled with some well, we'll call it interesting things like nuclear waste and rat poison. It's really not pretty. Either way, we will find this little lockbox here, which is of course locked. Which of course inside we will find Clara's note to Alexis, which reads as follows. Alexis, I hope you can forgive me for this. I know we've had our differences over the years about methodology and research and development, but we've always agreed that marketing is an evil force in the Nuka Cola world. I can't let them experiment on innocent bystanders anymore. So I've taken the arsenic and mercury and strontium and all the rest of it and gone home to Sutton, hoping you understand, Clara. Next up on the Nuka Express is Pylon V13, which is just north of Watoga. Seems Rick fled his holiday destination when the bombs dropped, only to meet an unfortunate end not far out of town. Poor Rick's final resting place is in a pile of bright red leaves only a few short meters from the train line's pylon. And next to his skeletal remains are his duffel bag containing a toolbox key and a note containing his final words. Whoever reads this is as far as I could make it on foot. There aren't a lot of supplies in this area and I can't walk much further. Drank some water from the stream and I think it was bad. My family was attacked by one of the research assistants from work. I thought I knew my people, but I guess you never know. She got my son before I managed to put it down. I never wanted to kill anybody, and I never wanted to die like this. If you get this note, tell my wife I love her. Rick. We can only take a guess at his assistant's motives. Just desperation perhaps, or something more sinister like contracting the scorch disease. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Armed with our newly found toolbox key, it's back to Watoga we go. Watoga, of course, being right at the bottom right hand corner of the map. There's a giant spire, you can't miss it. From the station fast travel location, turn, run left of the bright red rail bridge. That's a mouthful. Now, provided we've done everything right, there will be a concrete path in front of us, which we just hightail it along behind the buildings. If you sneak, you can generally avoid detection, which comes in all kinds of handy in this sort of area, especially if you're trying to get here at a lowish level like I was. Silly me. Once we hit the end of the path, it's just a case of dropping down onto the rocks here, and there's a bright red toolbox right here, and that's what we're looking for. Remember our toolbox key? Guess what it's for? Inside the box we'll find the key to Clara's box. Giggity. Oh, jokes aside, it's onto the second breadcrumb and off to Sutton we go. Sutton, of course, being where Clara's home is. In case you're trying to work out where Sutton is, I'm not sure that there's anybody that doesn't know that big, gaudy, ugly sign for Flatwoods there. No, you've never seen it before? This guide might be a little bit early for you then yet. Clara's house is in the north of Sutton, which is pretty much a one-horse, one-road town, so it's pretty hard to miss. Just run down between the brown and white houses into Clara's backyard, where you will find a red dog kennel with a note and a wooden box in it. There's also a beat up old pickup and Clara's remains, surrounded by a very large amount of empty Nuka Cola bottles. It would seem Clara's guilt ran significantly deeper than her initial note let on. And to be perfectly honest, after reading the somewhat tragic note that's inside the dog kennel, again, Clara's last words, I can kind of understand why. And Clara's last words read as follows. Mum, I'm sorry that my research got you addicted to this swill. I'll get revenge on the bastards in marketing that did this, I swear to you. I love you and miss you so much. Clara. Heartfelt tragedies aside, next stop on the Nuka Express is back to Kanawha and the Nuka Cola plant. So back to the upper floors we go, via the right set of stairs, through the questionable Nuka testing additives room, past the metal box we first found our original note in. Then, behind the Nuka Cola tasting booths, finally we come to our long-awaited destination, the Nuka Cola locker. And of course, god damn it, it's another key. But on the plus side, we know where that is, and we know what's in it. So here we are, full circle, back at the Black Mountain Ordnance Works, and incidentally our last stop on the Nuka Express. To find Dome 3 from the entrance gate that we started at, cross the blue cattle grate and follow the path east till we hit the main road. Yep, keep running. That's it. It is there, I promise. Here we go. Is this a good time to mention dropping me a like and a subscribe if you're new? Keep following the main road, and between two large trees on the left hand side you will see a crude path marked only by a rhododendron flower. Follow the path up the hill through some brush and we have arrived at our final stop in this crazy key chasing Nuka fueled treasure hunt. Now for those of you that like navigating via map, this is where the bunker location is. It is really well hidden. If you didn't know it was here, the likelihood of you stumbling on it, not particularly high. So, unlocking the door with our key, inside we find various bottles of Nuka Cola, a load of Nuka Cola advertising material, statues, vending machines, etc. A power armor station, which is rather handy to be right here, 2 unique Nuka Cola outfits, and the plans for our much anticipated T51 Nuka Cola paint job. Like I said, that power armor station, fantastic placement. What a massive journey that one was, chasing keys from, quite frankly, one end of the map to the other. That said, this paint job really does turn heads, unlike the excavator armor, which is significantly easier to obtain. That is, of course, as long as you have all the components to build it. And before you say it, yes, it's unique, and yes, there's a link, both here and below. I hope this video helped you live a little Nuka Cola nostalgia. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name's Azcriel, and I'll see everybody next time.